From a genuinely heartbreaking theory about why Woody is Andy's favorite toy of all, to Rex somehow surviving all the way into the far future events of Wall-E, here are 10 hidden things you didn't notice in Toy Story. But first, if Woody is your favorite, drop a cowboy hat emoji. And if you're Team Buzz, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Why is Woody really Andy's favorite toy? Throughout the entire franchise, Andy's father is never once seen, mentioned by name, or shown in a single family photo anywhere across any of the films, which is genuinely strange if he simply wasn't around due to something as ordinary as divorce. Combine that with the fact that Woody, confirmed to be a toy originally manufactured back in the 1950s and discontinued not long after, has clearly been around for decades longer than Andy himself has even been alive. And a quiet, genuinely heartbreaking theory starts to take shape the more you think about it. In an easy-to-miss line buried early in the franchise, Andy's mom specifically refers to Woody as an old family toy, not something she bought recently for him. Since she only has one other child, Andy's younger sister Molly, Woody likely originally belonged to Andy's father before ever reaching Andy's hands. That would mean Woody isn't simply a favorite toy Andy happened to pick up somewhere along the way. He may genuinely be the last remaining physical connection Andy has to a father who's never actually shown or discussed on screen throughout the entire series. Number 2. Did Rex somehow survive all the way to the end of the world in Wall-E? During one brief, easy-to-miss shot in Wall-E, tucked quietly into the corner of Wall-E's own personal shelf, full of carefully collected knickknacks gathered over the years, Rex the dinosaur toy can genuinely be spotted sitting among the rest of Wall-E's various collected items. Since Rex is made almost entirely out of durable plastic material, rather than anything organic or biodegradable, it raises a genuinely fun, open-ended question about whether other similarly durable toys like Woody or Buzz could have theoretically survived that exact same enormous stretch of time as well. Though something more fragile and multi-piece like Mr. Potato Head, made up of dozens of small separate parts, would realistically have a far smaller chance of staying fully intact across that same span of time. Number 3. The cleaner who fixes Woody is a secret Pixar short film character. The specific cleaner who carefully restores Woody's damaged arm in Toy Story 2 is actually the exact same character originally featured in the earlier Pixar short film Gary's Game. Due to a massive time crunch during production, animators reportedly didn't have time to design a brand new character from scratch for that role, so they simply reused his existing character model instead, quietly turning it into a subtle nod to the short. His signature chess pieces can even be briefly spotted sitting inside one of his open drawers, if you pause at the right moment. Number 4. 4 more small details. Hidden throughout Toy Story 2. When Al is on the phone finalizing the sale of Woody to a Japanese toy museum overseas, he noticeably mispronounces a specific Japanese phrase
Don't touch my mustache!
that actually translates to "you're welcome" in English. Among the visible stars shown in one particular scene, the classic Pixar desk lamp mascot is cleverly hidden as its own subtle background constellation for eagle-eyed viewers to spot. Al's toy barn itself is shown selling toys from A Bug's Life somewhere in the background of one particular store shot, and as Ham flips rapidly through television channels, searching specifically for the Al's Toy Barn commercial, quick flashing frames from several much earlier Pixar short films flash by in the background, including Tin Toy, Knick Knack, Red's Dream, and Luxo Jr. Number 5. Toy Story 5 finally answered a long-running Buzz Lightyear plot hole. Since the very first film, fans have debated why Buzz Lightyear, who genuinely believes he's a real space ranger rather than a toy for most of the movie, still instinctively freezes up like every other toy whenever a human walks by. If he truly doesn't believe he's a toy, why does he act like one the moment anyone's watching? Toy Story 5 finally answers that long-standing question. An entire shipment of Buzz Lightyear toys, all equally convinced they're real space rangers on a genuine mission, still freeze up automatically the moment a human approaches them during their own separate journey, even questioning out loud among themselves why they just did that without meaning to. The answer turns out to be instinct rather than conscious belief. Being a toy is baked into their fundamental nature, regardless of what they consciously think they are in their own minds. Every single toy is essentially programmed to act like a toy, no matter what they personally believe about their own identity, which finally closes the loop on a debate that's followed this franchise since 1995. Number 6. Was Sid's entire path in life secretly a happy ending? Sid, the neighborhood kid infamous for aggressively torturing his own toys throughout the original film, gets visibly traumatized after the toys finally take their revenge and reveal themselves as fully alive right in front of him. According to the director and creators themselves, one particular fan theory about what happens to him afterward is actually confirmed true rather than just fan speculation. In Toy Story 3, Sid reappears as the local neighborhood garbage man, still wearing that exact same same distinctive skull t-shirt from his childhood decades earlier. The theory suggests he took that specific job deliberately, using it as a way to find toys that get thrown away by other families and rescue them personally, driven by real guilt and a genuine awareness that toys are actually alive after everything he put them through as a traumatized kid. It's a surprisingly redemptive arc for a character mostly remembered for being the franchise's first real antagonist. Number 7. Did Wheezy secretly sabotage Woody in Toy Story 2? When Woody first discovers Wheezy sitting on the shelf, he learns Wheezy has been stuck there for months already, seemingly resigned to the idea that he's one stitch away from being sold off at the next yard sale. But look closely at the actual yard sale scene itself, and something genuinely feels off about his behavior. While Woody urgently tells every other toy to hide immediately, Wheezy makes no real effort to conceal himself at all, forcing Woody to physically push him out of sight at the very last possible second instead. Later, during the actual rescue attempt, as Wheezy tumbles helplessly out of Buster's collar mid-chase, he again makes no genuine attempt to save himself, relying entirely on Woody to catch him just in time. The theory suggests this pattern wasn't simply passive hopelessness on Wheezy's part. He may have deliberately let himself get caught in the first place, quietly banking on Woody's naturally heroic instincts to save him and secure his own spot back safely in Andy's room without ever having to lift a finger himself. Number 8. Is Mr. Potato Head secretly a hive mind? Across the franchise, Mr. Potato Head's individual body parts are repeatedly shown moving and acting independently, while completely separated from each other, whether transferred entirely onto a tortilla shell or scattered apart after being torn apart mid-air by an aggressive bird. Since Mrs. Potato Head is shown remaining actively connected to her own detached eye from clear across town in one scene, all of his individual parts seem to share some kind of genuine shared consciousness, linking them together regardless of physical distance. When his body first splits apart onto the tortilla, each piece moves independently, rather than as one coordinated group, and one detached hand and eye are even shown separately playing poker together entirely on their own, without the rest of his body present. After his tortilla body gets fully destroyed later on, one detached arm is shown deliberately nudging its other separated half specifically to get its attention, suggesting the pieces genuinely can't communicate properly once fully disconnected, and that his notably outspoken mouth specifically may be the one piece actually responsible for coordinating the rest of his scattered body parts. Number 9. Does Toy Story 5 actually break the franchise's own timeline? Toy Story 1 is confirmed to take place in 1995, with Toy Story 3, despite actually releasing in 2010, believed to genuinely take place around 2007 instead, based on Andy's specific age throughout that film. That puts roughly a 12-year gap between the events of the first and third films in total. Toy Story 4 likely takes place about a year after that point, somewhere around 2008, based on how quickly Bonnie's school year appears to begin right after she receives the toys from Andy. That established timeline creates a genuine problem for Toy Story 5, though, which is confirmed to explore themes surrounding the rise of tablet-obsessed kids, technology that realistically didn't even exist commercially until 2010 at the absolute earliest. Either the franchise is finally allowing Bonnie to age forward naturally into the present day as one of the first kids raised entirely on tablets, or the writers simply aren't prioritizing strict timeline accuracy the same way fans might expect after Toy Story 3's famously tight, carefully calculated continuity throughout the earlier films. Number 10. Woody was originally written as a genuinely unlikable jerk. Early animation tests for the very first Toy Story reveal a considerably edgier, far more cynical version of the film than what audiences eventually got to see in theaters. In that much earlier original version, Woody himself was written as noticeably more cynical and genuinely mean-spirited toward the other toys, reportedly so unlikable overall that the early test screening for that version was genuinely difficult for audiences to sit through comfortably. The entire project was quickly shut down internally not long afterward, and the studio made one final dedicated effort to completely rework the film from the ground up into the warmer, far more beloved story that eventually made it to theaters and became a genuine cultural phenomenon. And that's it! Which one surprised you the most? The theory that Wheezy secretly sabotaged Woody, or Rex somehow surviving all the way into the far future events of WALL-E? Let me know in the comments below. If you want part 2 of this breakdown, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because we're uncovering even more hidden secrets from this franchise very soon.